storytelling in conversation, and the subject matter is the widow's mite. I asked some of my followers and friends on Instagram, and here's what they had to say. But before you see and hear what they had to say, let me read you the story. The story is represented in Mark 12:41-44. It starts, "And Jesus sat down over against the treasury and beheld the multitude cast money into the treasury." They were giving offerings, in essence. "And many that were rich cast in much. And there came one poor widow, and she cast in 2 mites, which made a farthing. And he called his disciples and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, the poor widow cast in more than all of them that had so much to cast in superfluity. But she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living wages." I'm glad that Jesus pointed this out, because this is something that I've had a conversation with people so many times, from Sunday school to just normal informal conversations with friends, and they just, and I'm so happy that we understand it. We understand things in different ways, okay? But before I get to what I believe the manual, which is the Bible, the moral of the story is, in essence, let's hear what the friends and followers had to say.
Thank you so much for the question. It made me study my Bible, which I haven't done, I hate to admit, in the last couple of months. But the widow's mite to me talks about faith. I mean, in the preceding verses of Mark's account and the following verses of Luke's account, you could tell that Jesus was trying to show the disciples the kind of faith required to serve God. Sacrificial faith.
Hi everyone, my name's Yvonne. These are my thoughts on the widow's mite. It's in the book of Luke chapter 21 verses 1-4, and even though I do personally give to my church, I think it's more than just about the money. Jesus sort of, he knew that she was giving everything she had, and I think that's what he wants from us. Other people might look at you and say, oh, that's not good enough, or they think they've got more than you because there's other people that was with her that was giving loads more money, as it were. But he's content with if we have like one gift or talent, just to use that for his glory. What have we got to offer? He's not going to turn it away. If we give it with our whole heart sincerely, he accepts it. And that's what I love about Jesus. He never turns you away if you're sincere and you just give him all you've got, and he can help you do it.
Understanding from the story of the widow's mite is pretty straightforward. It's not so much as a financial understanding, right, as much as it is an issue of trust for me. So that story for me depicts clearly what it is like to trust God, trusting God with everything. Now here's a widow who was absolutely poor, right, and who came to the coffers of the church, and she gave everything that she had. Most people would like to relate this only to giving and saying, hey, you always have to empty your purse in church and all of that. That's not how I understand it. I also like to see it from, when you come to God, you've got to learn that you're going to give him everything. God expects everything from you. He needs you to empty yourself and put all of your trust and confidence in him. That's how I see the story of the widow's mite. Thank you.
Talking about a widow's mite is basically expressing the totality of our being as a gift to God, or as a gift to humanity, God and humanity. So this is the thing, God has given us so much talent and needs, and deposited so much in us for the world, not just for church, for the world. And so God expects us to give our all to the world, our all to fellow human beings. That is what service is. So a widow's mite is giving your all, giving your talents, giving your gifts, be it just singing, be it philanthropy, be it serving, be it volunteering services, giving your all for the betterment of the world, for the betterment of humanity. So it's not just limited to the church space. It is being active in the world, being active at your job, being active with the talents you've been given.
So about the widow's mite, I think it's just a perfect example of sacrificial giving. David talks about how I will not give to God that which cost me nothing. So God always looks at your giving. He gives your giving more credence and more attention when he sees that you're able to give in spite of your lack, in spite of your insufficiency. It's very easy to give $1 million if you have $1 billion, but then it's harder to give 10 naira when all you have is 50 naira. When all you have in this life is 50 naira and you're able to bring out 10 naira, it means so much more to you. So that's the way God looked at it, and I think that's the way God looks at our giving, even when we give of our time, when we give of our capacity, when we give of our skill set to be a blessing to people's lives. He always looks at that element of sacrifice, because if it's not sacrificial, then it's really not giving at all. God loved the world and he gave his son.
So there you go. Those were their thoughts about the story of the widow's mite. And here is what I believe Luke Mark had in mind. My objective lesson from this is, it is a reflection of our faith. Remember, I'm still on the faith series, and it is also a reflection of our selflessness. How giving are we of ourselves? Do we give according to what we have, or we give more than what we have because we believe that God will replenish it, because we're giving back to him and we're giving in his name? Even when we're giving alms, even when we're giving to God as an offering, as a tithe, or as a first seed of the year, or of a job, or of a contract, are you giving because you're showing off, just like the rich guys that, they give in dollars when they come to church, or they want to show off, we spray the money, Is that how you give? Number one, you shouldn't give as a form of showing off. Number two, you shouldn't give just what you can. Give what costs you. And number three, give willingly. Don't be coerced into giving. I like it when churches and fellowship centers and NGOs say there's no pressure to give, especially now during this pandemic period. People just ask for support to help those that cannot fend for themselves because things are difficult, really. And they say there's no pressure because it is your conscience at the end of the day, which I believe should be guarded by the Holy Spirit to inspire you to give. Okay, so the benchmark here, based on those three flagships, is the widow's mite is giving something that cost you. It's not Wikipedia, and Wikipedia says the widow's mite story is about giving a small offering from the poor. I'm like, okay, it's even a small offering? No, I think what they should have said is a poor person that isn't sure about tomorrow, where his or her ends meet will come, is giving the little that they have, which is the all that they have. Giving is also a test of character, a test of our faith. How much do you trust God? It reflects in the way we give, whether we're giving money, whether we're giving our service, volunteering at this time in homes and hospitals and churches, with families, the old, however and whatever you're giving. Make sure you're giving willingly, make sure you're giving selflessly, and make sure you're giving something that costs you, that is taking you out of your comfort zone. I do not give God what does not cost me. Not because I know that He is the one that gave it to me, I had no job at time, and my sister would give me, monthly allowances. And on her birthday, the gift I bought for my sister was from the monthly allowance that she had given to me. That's the same thing. That's how it is with God. That's the same dynamics with it as it is with God. God has given us everything. The food you eat, your family, and whatever you're giving to him is a function of what he's given to you. So it is his at the end of the day. So that's what I'm trying to project from this story. Thank you to everyone who contributed, and I do hope the conversation continues below in the comment section. And also, if you'd like to be part of my Vox Pop contributors, please just send me a message on Instagram. I am at Zoe Chinaka, and also you can leave me a message here in the comment section. I will be glad to reach out to you for my next open topic. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give, because giving opens doors. When you give, it will come back to you. It is a principle that even not just Christians follow. It is a principle the Jews follow, the Muslims follow, the Buddhists follow. Every religion I know believes in giving. So if you miss giving, honey, you need to check yourself. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.